Good morning, friends. My name is Miss Pam. I'm with Imagine Children's Museum, and we have a little science lab today with you.
Hola a todos, Laurel aquí con Imagine Children's Museum y hoy vamos a hablar otra vez sobre agua con mi amigo, Señor Pam.
We are going to be talking about water, and last week we talked about, who can remember?
¿Quién recuerda que hablamos la semana pasada?
Sink and float.
Sí, hundirse y flotar.
Exactly. So, do you remember we used our thumb to do sink and, float and sink. Today, we brought, what is this?
¿Quién recuerda qué es este?
Play-Doh.
Plastilina.
And we used the Play-Doh last week. What happened when we put the Play-Doh in the water?
¿Quién recuerda qué pasado cuando ponemos este Play-Doh en el agua?
Did it float or did it sink?
¿Se hunda o se flota?
It sank. Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's put the Play-Doh in the water. Use your thumb. Do you think it's going to float or sink? Let's find out.
¿Qué piensas?
Sink!
Se hunda.
Exactly. It is sinking. Today we want to see if we can make the Play-Doh float.
Vamos a ver si podemos hacer que flota esta plastilina.
And sometimes, depending on the shape, you can make it float. This is going to be the test today. We're going to see if we can make it float.
Vamos a ver si podemos hacer que flota. Y por esto vamos a cambiar la forma, como así, para hacer que es más plano, con un poquito de edge.
Let's give it a try. Do you think it's going to float or sink? What's your prediction?
¿Tienes una predicción en si vas a flotar o hundirse? Pues.
Let's find out.
Qué bien.
Ah! Float!
Flotan.
So sometimes,
Una
Miss
flotan.
Pam's sank. It sank. So sometimes, depending on the shape, you can make it float.
Depende en su forma, puedes hacer que lo flota.
Perfect. I have another tool. Would you like to? So what do you think this is? You're right. This is foil, and it's a special kind of material, and we use it a lot of times when we're cooking. I bet you have some in your kitchen.
¿Sabes qué es? Sí, es papel de aluminio y probablemente ya tienes en casa, en su cocina.
So if you want, you could go to your kitchen and get a little piece of foil, and you could do this with us.
Si quieres, puedes sacarlo de su cocina para crear este con nosotros.
So if we put this in the water, do you think it's going to sink or float?
En el agua, ¿piensas que este va a flotar o hundirse?
So maybe you'd like to put yours in the water, and we'll see if it just sinks or floats. Oh my gosh,
Flota.
look it! Flotar! Yes,
Aluminio.
it floats.
Flota.
So let's see if we can make a boat with our foil, and we're going to see if we can get it to be water-worthy. I'm going to put some edges on it like Miss Laurel put on her Play-Doh boat. And I'm going to see if I can get my boat to float.
Vamos a ver si podemos crear una barca o un bote con nuestro papel de aluminio.
Do you think yours is going to sink or float, Miss Laurel?
I think mine will float. Pienso que este va a flotar, pero no lo sé.
Do you think it's going to sink or float? Should we find out? All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Los dos flotan.
They both are floating. Good. Do you think we could change it just a little bit and see if it'll still float? I'm going to make mine smaller. Ooh. Look at that. Do you think it's going to sink or float? What's your prediction?
¿Tienes una otra predicción?
Are you ready?
Sí, ¿estás lista?
3, 2, 1. Oh, float!
Bien.
Very nice. So I have another piece of foil, and we want to get this foil to sink. Let's put our boats out. And we're going to fold our foil 4 times. All right.
4 veces. Vamos a cortar.
Get it nice and flat, and you're going to fold it. 1. Press, press, press. You want to press and slide to get all the air bubbles out. On our boats, there were lots of air bubbles that helped it to float. We want to get all the air bubbles out.
El aire ayuda el barco bote a flotar, pero para no flotar, vamos a ver si podemos sacar el aire de este papel de aluminio.
How many times have you folded yours now, Miss Laurel?
I've folded 2 times.
2 times.
dos
I'm on 2.
veces.
Are you ready for 3?
Sí.
1, 2, 3. Press, press, press. Press, press, press. Get all those air bubbles out. And one more. We have one more. Okay. Number 4.
Número 4.
Press, press, press. I think mine's flat.
Creo que mi está bien.
Is it going to sink or float? We want it to sink. Do you think it'll sink or float?
¿Piensas que va a flotar o hundirse?
Let's give it a try. Oh! Oh!
Uno y uno.
Miss Pam's is sinking. Miss Laurel's is
Mío se flota. Creo que necesito intentar otra vez a quitarlos el aire.
We are scientists. We have to experiment.
Es sobre hacer y hacer otra vez.
Oh! Nice work! You can do this at home, boys and girls. You can get little foil and play in the water in your sink at home.
Podemos hacer este en casa también. Probablemente ya tienes el papel de aluminio en su cocina. Pregunta a sus padres.
Yeah. Our time together is just about done. It's been so fun. I'm so glad you joined us today. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Nuestro tiempo se acaba, pero gracias por estar aquí con nosotros.
Bye.
Hasta luego.